Hi everyone, Tracy here with Paper Closet Designs, and I am so excited for today's video. This is a project that I've been working on for a little while. In fact, I had this idea quite a while ago and was kind of trying to figure out how to do it, and I was getting some things worked out, and then as I got on the internet, they're very, very popular. There's a bunch of these already out, but these are my designs and I am super excited. These are candy holders. So that you can share some treats with your loved ones, your kids, your teachers, grandkids, neighbors, whatever. But they are made with a Christmas ornament ball, and each treat only uses half of one ornament. So you can pick these up just about anywhere. Right now we're getting ready for Halloween, and they are at all of your craft stores. Right after Christmas, they will go on clearance, but you can order them on Amazon all year round. And so I've got a bunch of these. I've got some Thanksgiving ones in the works, Christmas, Valentine's, birthdays, just a bunch of them using these ornaments. So go ahead and stock up on those. I've got 3 files today that I want to show you. I've got the candy corn right there. I also have a ghost, and then we are going to assemble this spider. But I want to show you something a little bit different that I have done with mine. So all of these have 2 variations so that you can decide which one that you want. The first one is, if you turn it over, it has a pull tab, and that's how you release the candy once it's made. So you'll give this to your kid or whatever, and they will pull that open and be able to get to the candy. And then I thought, well, there's got to be maybe another way so that they don't destroy the card. And so I have come up with one that has a little window in the back. I just call it a shutter, and you just spin it, and you can get your candy out that way. You can also fill it this way. So there's the same, both variations on all of the cards that I'm making. Let me show you some things or tell you some things that are good or bad about both of them. So when we go with the pull tab, these are a little bit lighter, they take a little bit less paper, and they're easier to assemble. There's a couple things I don't necessarily like about it, and there's a couple that I do. The one is when you pull it over and you pull that whole tab, there's a little bit of a gap right there before I've even pulled it open. So if you have really tiny candies, they may slip out. And they are lighter. So the more candy you put on it, there's less layers of paper, and so they're a little bit lighter. But one of the things that I really do like about these is the pull tab is simple to use, especially for those little children that still are working with their dexterity and can't maybe twist the wheel. So these are great. Love these. The thing I do like about the ones with the shutter opening in the back is they're easier to fill, and they take more layers. Whoops, gotta spin it all in one direction. They take more layers, so they're a little bit sturdier. So this is our candy corn. I'm gonna set it aside. I also have the ghosts, and the ghosts have the pop-out layer, or the pull tab layer, or the shutter layer in the back. And then today we are going to do the spiders, and we're actually going to do both of them. So I'm going to start with the pull tab. Let me show you the tools that you need to get started. So first off, you'll need a glue gun. And I have decided after lots of trial and error that the hot melt is actually the best. I was trying to do some of these with a low temperature glue gun, and they weren't going together quite the way I wanted to. It'll work in a pinch, but if you have a hot glue gun, that's the one you want. You're also going to want some glue. Foam pop dots are optional, but I really like the way they look. Of course, you'll need your Christmas ornament. If you're ordering these from other places, sometimes they're called domes, orbs, or ornaments. And these are the 3.15 inch, or I believe they're 8 millimeter, but I know they're 3.15 inch, and all of my files will fit this ornament. If you find some smaller ones, I'm going to do another video showing you how to resize it in your software. You will need a pencil, and you will also need, if you're doing the shutter opening, you will need one brad. I'm going to set all of that aside, and we're going to go ahead and just jump in with our little spider, and this is the pull tab. So with our little spider, he comes in layers. One other thing I need to mention is you want, if you purchase these somewhere else or find another designer or whatever, you want something that has at least at the minimum 3 layers. 4 or 5 layers is actually even better because these can get really heavy depending on the type of candy or treat that you put in them. So you want them pretty heavy. And you're going to want to cut it out of 65 or 80 weight paper. Okay, so back to our spider. We have the top layer. We have our middle layer, which is white. Those red pieces are actually separate, and they are his eyes. Then we have the next layer that's his legs, and I cut this out of brown just so you can see the difference in the screen, but you could do it any color you want. Then we have the back layer. And then we have the very back layer that has the pull tab. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to take this pull tab and I'm just going to lift it a little bit. Okay, now let's go ahead and layer our spider. So we're going to hold off on the red piece. We're going to set it to the side, and we're going to start with our back, and that is the piece that has the legs. And I'm just going to glue on this white piece. And you could use this with a tape runner or anything that you have on hand. I'm going to have to sit down so I can see what I'm doing here. And you're just going to line it up. I'm working around the camera. Okay, line it up and press it down. Then we're going to take our top layer, which is the black piece for the spider. If you're doing the ghost, I think it had 2 ghost layers, and then the back and the pop out. The candy corn, the 3 colors are on 1 layer. So we're just going to line that up, and you don't want that white to show. Like I said, I'm working around the camera arm. Okay, and then on this one we have our little eyes, and we're just going to glue them in, and they can be looking any direction you want them to. And you could cut your eyes out of black again, or blue, red, any color that you would like. Okay, so now we're going to set that aside because that is the top of our treat holder and it's ready. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our back piece, and then we're going to take this outline piece and we're going to lay it on here, and then we're going to take a pencil and we're going to trace that circle because that's where the dome is going to go. Whoops. Okay. Now we need our glue gun. So be careful, we're really going to use this, or this gets really hot and I don't want anybody to get burned. What we're going to do is we're going to take a line of glue and drop it right around where that pencil mark is. We don't want glue on the tab up here. So we're just going to go all the way around, start and stop at the tab. And I don't know in the camera if you can see that very well or not. Now with the pull tab, before we even do that, I want to fill my orb. Ooh, I got something on there. I want to fill my orb with the candy that I'm going to use. So I just got some kisses. I don't have very many. You could put a lot more in there. And we're just going to put them in there. So now I'm going to take the glue gun and I'm going to go all the way around on that circle. Stay away from the tab. You just need a thin line, and it does not have to be perfect. And then we're going to take our ornament and we're going to kind of line it up right along those glue marks and lay it on there. And you want to, oh, I may have to do that again because I did it. You do not want your little tag for the ornament right on top of that pull tab. So kind of put it off to the side. You could even put it down on the bottom, whatever you want. Okay, so then once that's on there, oh, and I was talking and didn't get it on there. So we're going to try it again because my glue dried while I was yakking. You want to work quickly with this. There we go, much better. Okay, let that kind of dry for just a minute, or cool down. And now we're going to take our red piece and we're going to put it on top of here. So I need to put glue on the top of his head and all the way around the edge there. And you could even use your glue gun, which I might have to because this is not working. But I don't want to burn my, there we go. So I'm just going to put some glue all the way around. You could even do foam pop dots. You may want to because this is going to be held up just a little bit because of that tab. So now I'm just going to lay this on here. And glue it down. Okay, now I'm going to add my spider, the top of him, and I do want to do him with some foam pop dots. You could again just glue him, not a problem at all, but I'm going to do some foam on here. So I'm just going to do his head, and I've got some smaller, yeah, I've got some smaller pieces. I don't know if these are quite as thick. And I'm just going to add it kind of around his body. Remove those pieces. These are such a fun project, and I tell you, all the kids would absolutely love getting them. I'm thinking I'm going to do these for my grandkids this year. Okay, so we're going to bring our little spider back, and I'm just going to lay him right down on there. And the red piece is bigger than the inside piece. It gives it a little bit of shadow, but it also helps so that it doesn't have to be matched up just exactly perfect. If you want to, you could go ahead and put some foam dots under the legs to secure him a little bit, but I think I'm just going to leave him just like that. And there is my spider with the pull tab. So super, super easy. Now let's move ahead and do the one with the shutter opening. So I'm going to bring my brad over here because I need that. And I have already layered my spider. This part is exactly like you did the pull tab. I've already layered it. Let's just set him aside. And then you have this red piece. And then for your shutter, let me show you the pieces that you're going to have. You will have, and you just cut these from your paper, you'll have 2 washers. You'll have the inside piece, and it kind of has the jagged edge with the window cut out. And then you have 2 pieces with the window. So this one that has the thumbnail or the hole goes on the very, very back. And this one goes underneath your layer, your first layer, if that makes sense. So what we're going to do is the same thing as before. I'm going to take this piece, I'm going to take my back layer, my first layer, and I'm going to lay it on there. And I'm going to trace my circle again. This is where that other half of the ornament or the dome is going to go. Just set that aside. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put glue, but this time we want to put it all the way around. We just want to make sure that we don't get it in where that opening is. And then we'll take our orb and we're going to glue it down, just like we did before. But this time we don't have to fill it, because we can fill it when we're all done. So just a thin line. That's a little too thin right there. Lay that right on top of that line. Turning my tab just a little bit. Okay, while that cools down, we're going to go ahead and put together, oh crud, I did that wrong, because we need this on here. So do as I say, not as I do. Whoops. Okay. Whoops, I'm sorry. We're going to put this piece together before we glue the orb on. So we're going to take our piece that has the cutout, and we're going to put the brad in, and then we're going to take one of the washers and put it down. I'm going to take our little circle that has the cutout, the spin part, and we're just going to lay it down there. You don't have to line this up. I usually do, but you don't have to. Then we're going to take our last washer and lay it on there. And then we'll take our back piece and we are going to lay it with the circle that we've drawn face up. So it won't have glue on it, it'll just have your circle that you drew. And you do want to draw the circle before you put this together. I just got one step ahead of myself. Okay, I'm going to open that brad up. Really flatten it down, and then turn it over and make sure that this spins. And now, before we add the orb on this side where the spin is showing through, we're going to open that up and we're going to put glue all the way around it just to glue that edge down. So I'm just going to take my little glue bottle again. It is time for a new glue bottle. I've had more issues with this the last couple of days. There we go. I'm just going to put glue around the edge. You don't want to make sure that you don't get it on that spin piece. I'm going to glue the head. And then do this side all the way around. Again, making sure that I don't get it on this spinner. Match it up. It's easiest to match up the head. And then just press that down. Okay, and then we still want to make sure that this spins, that we didn't get glue in there, or if we need to put more on those edges if they're not holding. Okay, now, now we're going to flip this over and we're going to put glue again. This is going to have so many layers of glue, but we're going to put that glue right around on the circle that we already drew. We're going to add our ornament, our dome, and just let it sit there for a minute and cool down. All right, next, let's take our spider, and this time I am going to just glue him right on there. He's not matching up very well, I don't think. I don't think I got that on there quite straight. Okay, there we go. So we're just going to glue him down there. And then we're going to take, this video is getting long, so I'm going to hurry. We're going to glue this on there, the layered pieces, or the top layers, whatever you want. You can glue it, or you can add it with a foam pop dot. Then you're going to flip it over and fill that up with your candy. See, it's so much easier to fill it up that way. Just twist that. I haven't glued anything on here, so it's all not lined up. And it's closed, and there is your little spider. Oh my goodness. There's your little spider ornament, which will be really cute when I glue him all together. So we have the spider ornament with the twist shutter back. We have the spider ornament with the pull back. We have the ghost with the pull tab. We have the ghost with the shutter opening. The ghosts also have a little tag at the tab at the top so that you could hang these if you wanted to, or you could tie a tag to them. And then we have the candy corn with the shutter opening and the candy corn with the pull tab opening. And like I said, I've got more in the works. I've got a whole bunch coming in the next week or two. So I hope you have fun with these. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a great day. I hope you find this video helpful. Please hit subscribe down below so that you don't miss any of my videos. Give me a thumbs up and have a great day.